The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles, and broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Iisha Morrison, and ladies.
Did I see that?
Y'all wake up!
I wasn't sure.
Y'all know what's up. How y'all doing?
Huh?
What's a lovely morning?
What'd you say? It is. It's Wednesday.
It's morning. It's Wednesday.
What's a term for Wednesday?
A wake up Wednesday.
What's Wednesday in Spanish?
Starts with the. I feel like it's
Miércoles.
I was gonna say it starts with the M.
Miércoles.
Okay, look, our girl, she getting bilingual on us.
Very much
Hoy
so.
miércoles.
Don't overdo it.
Wait, don't encourage her too much.
Okay,
She gonna
sorry.
take it.
All right, right. My bad. Y'all, we got 4 more days until. Yeah, it's 4. I had to make sure.
Is it 4 days?
4 more days till Washington comes to freaking town. Are y'all ready for that?
Very much so.
Okay. Well, we're going to break it down in the next segment. But I first want to make sure we do touch on Jerry Jones's comments because he did speak on The Fan, his weekly call with the boys. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me was, of course, he opened it up with, it was his birthday. He would have liked to have had a little celebration there. But
Hate that for him.
I hate it for him, too. But I'm sure next year we'll be able to call a win for him, hopefully. But one of the things he did address is, of course, the elephant in the room is the big question is Matt Eberflus. The guys asked, what makes you confident that he is the guy to turn this defense around? And he's talked about, the tremendous experience that he had in Chicago and with the Colts and the success with the defenses there. But one of the things that stood out to me was that he said that the pass rush is one of the strengths of this team, and it in so many words, and that it's going to basically get better. Thoughts on his comments and what y'all think?
Bree?
I didn't listen to it. I read all the quotes that were coming out, and that was the one getting the most love for obvious reasons, because I think there's a lot of people who disagree with that. I will say, when you're running a team and you make the decision to trade your best pass rusher for whatever reasons, we heard thousands of reasons, sounds a little personal going back and forth. However, it may. But one thing I learned watching a very moving documentary about how this Cowboys team operated under Jerry Jones for a very long time. Jerry's a very prideful person, regardless. Great businessman. But I think that's what you have to say when you make that type of decision. You got to kind of stand on business. You got to back it up. 6 weeks of play and things aren't going well. I don't think there's a lot of things you can do. What good is it going to do to kind of admit defeat, if you will, in saying they're not living up to it? So I think you have to be optimistic, just like Iisha said yesterday with Brian Schottenheimer in the situation, backing up Matt Eberflus and what this defense is doing. He's saying all the right things. I think Jerry Jones had to say what he said, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because what we're seeing on the field isn't adding up to what we heard. So maybe the potential is there, and I think we do feel like these guys could and should be playing to a different level. We've seen sparks of it. Again, they had their best complimentary football game against the Jets, not taking away anything from who they face, but how can they build upon that? Don't know. That's supposed to be Matt Eberflus's job and Ryan Schottenheimer's job, so we'll see if they can. But again, I just think that's what you're supposed to say in a situation like this, and pray that it starts to come together and form together, because it's getting ugly.
It's the emphasis for the different words for me.
That's all I was about to say.
Job. And
I'm staying positive.
Jerry Jones supposed
that.
to say, but this was let me make sure I do read the right quote, the verbatim, just to make sure that there's no confusion.
Okay.
He did say, I'm going to be pretty general here because I like what we're doing over there defensively. Anybody can tell you there's some adjustments that we need to make. We've got a lot of personnel, especially in our pass rush. We're deep in our pass rush. we were really not deep last year. We had so many injuries in Sam Williams, Michael Parsons, people like that, DeMarcus Lawrence. But here's the kicker. Well, we're not in that shape this year. We've got a real strength there. Those were his words. So I just want to make sure that was known.
I mean, I understand what Bree is saying in regards to him saying, not him making the trade. And again, let's talk. It's not even just the trade for Michael Parsons. It's also the decision to not sign somebody who balled out last week for the Seahawks, who you might have been able to use at this point in the run game. For me, I think it's also too, like, it's fine for him to mention, to stand firm on his decision, but we ain't got to get a little ridiculous here.
I'm sick of you.
We ain't got to say that it's the strength of the team. We ain't got to go that far.
You got to stand on business.
Standing on business and then being in Peter Pan land is too totally.
I want to be in Peter Pan land.
Oh, my goodness.
But
so, anyway, I try, y'all, listen, all respect to Jerry and what he does, but I tweeted, and I'm not going to let him upset me today. with some... He can be confident. He can be confident.
Absolutely. He is.
He can be confident, but the reality is, I mean, if you're looking at the pass rush, if you want to find a bright spot, Donovan Ezraku seems like he is really starting to get his legs under him. Seems like the game is really slowing down from him. And I hope that this week is the week that he gets that sack that he is so close to getting. So, I mean, the pass rush is what it is. And it's not even that and here's the thing, too, is that we didn't even get an opportunity to really see the pass rush last week. Yeah. When you look at James Houston, people were like, why didn't he have enough snaps? Baby, you didn't get no third down. They wasn't in third down situations. Yep. They wasn't in situations where you could just pin your ears back and, go after the passer. So I hope that, this week they find some success in those early downs and they're able to display the pass rush that Jerry says
he sees it. It's there.
He synced it. It's a fact.
He's there. I don't know if it's a fact. I can't say
it
right now.
To Bree.
No, I mean, and that's pretty much going to be the same thing this week against Washington.
Yeah.
They're not really in a lot of third down situations, but when they are, they're 11th in third down. Sorry, excuse me. That was defense. My bad. But they are one of the top teams in third down offense. But just talking about now, breaking down the film, Iisha, we've got a segment for you, but we're going to leave a longer segment for you in our next break. We're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWC studio.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation, head to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Watch the Dallas Cowboys face off against the Broncos in Denver on Sunday, October 26th. Doors open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25. Enjoy a performance by the DCC, Slurpee samples, $5 Miller Lites, and more. Claim your free ticket at dallascowboys.com/watch party.
Woo!
Boom, 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 boom.
That sounds like a
Slurpees.
very fun thing to do. Did I ever ask y'all what y'all wearing for Halloween? What are y'all gonna be?
I'm gonna be on a plane, so my Cardi B plans have kind of collapsed.
You can still do it the next day.
I guess I could.
I don't know if
I'm screaming. What about you?
Huh?
I thought it was your favorite holiday.
Right?
No, it's not. I didn't even celebrate Halloween
made
as
that
a
up.
child.
I
But
made
I don't know what I would be just yet. But I like the festive energy. I'm really maybe a horror movie character or something, or Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Never seen that.
Me neither.
What's that about?
Mortal Kombat.
Cool.
I hate when people can't guess my costumes.
That's great. Well, me and my boyfriend are dressing up as the Flintstones.
Aw,
That's adorable.
Wait, how are you going?
That's adorable. I never dressed
It's
as
the one in the white. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh,
It's fine.
I forget her name.
It's great.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Cowboys, Washington, they face off on Sunday, 3:25 kickoff. But I do want to make sure we dive into this film. We've got Iisha's insights coming up, but this is a Washington team that's 3-3. Cowboys 2-3-1. Both teams pretty much, like we've already mentioned, the NFC East is still somewhat wide open. So big game for the Cowboys this week. Iisha's insights. That's our new theme song for you. All right.
my lord,
Are you ready?
my lord. Yeah.
What you got for us? All right, great, go.
Well, I mean, it starts up front with this Washington Commanders offensive line. We got a couple familiar faces over there. They acquired Laremy Tunsil from Houston this offseason, and that's kind of paid dividends for them to start off. That left side, center to left side of that offensive line has played pretty strong, giving up little to no pressures or sacks this year. Baby. But the right side with Andrew Riley and Josh Connerly, that's where Chicago last week really attacked them with some twists, some stunts. There was a lot of miscommunications. I think Dallas, with this pass rush that Jerry speaks of,
It's there.
will be able to take advantage of that side of the offensive line and passing downs. But this is a Washington Commanders offensive line that is able to move the ball and run the ball. You know, up until this past week where they had a lot of the fumbles, Foskey, the rookie, 7th-round rookie, has ran the ball between the tackles very efficiently. One thing that also stands out with Jayden Daniels is just his patience and his ability to just sit in the pocket and make passes under pressure. If Dallas is going to blitz or pressure, they're going to have to get there on this guy and get him to the ground. He is a little bit more physically limited because of this knee injury that he has been dealing with. He was out for 2 weeks with it. Another thing that I was looking at is their usage of McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey, he is starting to get going in the receiving game. They're using him in the slot. I know Chris yesterday was saying they better not do that reverse.
Please.
Dallas better not fall for that reverse next week.
Man.
Obviously, Deebo Samuel is someone that they're going to use out of the back. They're going to use out of the backfield. They're going to use him in the slot and try to get him going. Obviously, Terry McLaurin is not out there right now. Still dealing with what the heck is wrong with him again? Yeah, the groin issue that he's still working through. But Jalen Lane, the rookie, has really stepped up, and some of the things that he's able to do attacking the intermediate to deep part of the field is something that worries me as a Cowboys fan. And Zach Ertz, listen, the senior citizens is doing their thing out here because he is still able to sit in zones, which, again, Dallas has struggled defending tight ends this year. He's able to still sit in zones and make you pay. Again, very patient, very smart in how he attacks the ball and attacks angles as a tight end. I'm looking for the Dallas defensive line. My God, it's hard to evaluate after what we saw last week. They just have to play more sound when it comes to gap integrity because Krosky rather, is a guy that can really, when not only can he put a dent in your defensive line, he can really press the hole when he gets to the second level. And if guys aren't willing to come up and tackle, he is going to run through contact. He's going to run through contact. And so I'm looking for them to tackle better this game. On the back end, I am a little concerned with what Deebo Samuels is able to do to you across the middle of the field, and also just how they like to do some of those crossers and slant routes. And so for me, Dallas has to be better early in first and second downs. They have to be able to get yardage on the ground in first and second downs, and that is really what is going to make the difference. Washington likes to run a lot of jumbo personnel, which means that they're bringing in an extra lineman, or they're having their tight ends in tight formations. Dallas has struggled with that. Dallas has struggled to get off blocks this year. I don't want to see Dallas just not be able to stop the run this game, because this is an offense that can run and pass the ball. Cliff Kingsbury is very creative in how he creates separation for these guys, and if you give Jayden Daniels time back there, he is going to deliver the ball on time, and then smile about it too if he messes up. Now, one thing that we did see the other night is they will put the ball on the ground. Granted, the rain and wind, I feel like, did play a factor in some of what happened. However, the fumbling is something that Krosky Merritt did the week before. So maybe Dallas is able to force some turnovers with these guys being a little loose-handed with the ball in their hands. That's kind of how I look at this offense. I mean, their offensive line is a pretty strong one, y'all. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but it is. But if you are going to try to really get after them, put pressure on that right side of that offensive line and make the rest of those guys have to work.
You know what I think is impressive? That when some people in some of your personnel are struggling with something, they figure out how to play to their strengths, play to the team's strengths. So therefore, what I mean by that is, obviously last year, reigning offensive player of the year, Jayden Daniels, they were one of the I'll say they were still a balanced offense, but it was more so one of the better passing offenses in the NFL. But now you look at this team now, of course, him battling that injury, they want to run the football. Second rushing offense in the NFL right now. But when you talk about them, or when you watch them, ladies, what's one word that describes this offense and why?
Washington.
One word.
One word.
I would say explosive. I think they have the ability to. The difference between this year and last year is that they got Brian Robinson up out of here and said, hey, we think that Krosky Merritt can run this ball. And his ability, again, averaging 6.8 yards a carry across 27 carries. And they're running a lot out of 11 personnel, which, again, that puts stress on your defense because you don't know if they're running or passing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times teams aren't going to just run out of 11, but these guys are. They feel confident in their ability to do that. And Dallas has given up the third highest explosive run rate in the NFL out of 11 personnel. Praise Saints.
Yeah. My word would be balanced.
That's it. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Balanced.
They're way more balanced this year. Yeah.
You didn't see that in the last game. They were able to stop the run. One kind of thing I saw, loading up the box with 8, because they don't have that guy as in the receiver room right now. Deebo would be one of the bigger threats, but he was coming off an injury. He was going into that game questionable, and he's not 100% from what I saw and what I'm hearing. And then also, like you had mentioned about the tight end, not the tight end, I'm sorry, Luke McCaffrey. He is the Flanoy of the team. When I look at that Commanders team, he was a guy they would target, and he came up in big moments. And then once the injury started happening, talking about Terry McLaurin, obviously there, McLaurin going out. Who else are they missing there? Noah Brown. Those are 2 top receivers outside of Deebo, in my opinion. And they've been utilizing him more, and you're seeing him kind of pop off. I think that's someone who's going to be a problem.
I agree.
Going up against a Cowboys secondary. But this is a team that can run the ball. Jayden Daniels, 7 is the lowest amount of attempts he's had in a game, and I think that was game 1, and he's only stacked them up. Of course, he was out those 2 games. He's gonna run the ball. He's gonna run the ball.
Scramble. Yeah,
it's part of his game.
Yeah,
that's what makes him successful. We saw that his rookie season. And the last time we played the Cowboys, I remember being there, and it came down to final seconds. It was a crazy ending, wild ending. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's the type of battle I'm expecting them coming in. But yeah, they're going to load up the box against, that's what they did. But I don't think they can do that to us because, George Pickens is playing out of his mind right now. Possibly CD could be coming back, and I think that would be the difference of what we saw, what the Bears were able to do against the Commanders, rather than what they would do to us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what else they got?
What else?
We got some pieces back. They're hoping that McLaurin is actually back this week. Yes.
He'll be all right.
Okay.
I mean,
He's missed three consecutive games. We know what that looks like when somebody comes back.
You never know.
no, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Things always miraculously happen.
Three games with the
Cowboys.
quad issue, though, I feel like you have to.
Kinda.
They just paid him a lot of money. They're not going to just
Oh, yeah.
throw him in there, and they're going to have to ramp him up.
I mean, make no mistake about it. This is a big game. This is not only
yeah.
a big game for Dallas. This is a big game for the Commanders. They are looking to not, go under 500 as well, and to try to stay in the running in this division. Another thing that that stands out is the drop in his efficiency and Jayden Daniels' efficiency when he is blitzed with more than 5 rushers. I mean, he is getting rid of the ball quickly, but do we see Eberflus implement a few more blitzes? We did see him blitz a little bit more this past game. Not that much. I want to say 9 times if I'm not mistaken, but is that something that Dallas feels like they can do, or are they too worried about some of the big plays happening on the back end? Also, I do think that Jayden Daniels has developed in how he is using tempo as a quarterback, and the Commanders use no huddle at 62.3% of their plays, so they're really trying to get your defense. The Dallas defense is already struggling with get into the line on time, getting in the right position, having the right fits. When you're going up against an offense that thrives in hurry up, I think it's going to be important for the Dallas defense to be disruptive, like I said, in early downs, so these guys are not able to just do what they want to do, and to make sure that guys are set and in the right place. We already talked about it. I'm a little bit calmer today about the defensive performance last week on Sunday from the defense. I just really think this defensive line, if Dallas wants to win this game, this defensive line has to be more physical at the point of attack. They cannot get moved off blocks the way they did the day before yesterday. It's that fresh in my mind. They cannot get turned, and I mean, this secondary is going to have to come up and tackle. This is an offense that will attack your edges, and if these edges can't get off of blocks, these guys are going to have to flow and play for each other, because this offense again has the ability to hit you on the ground with these explosive plays, and then also really knock you out on the back end with some of these deep crossers and some of the stuff that they like to do with Deebo Samuels just coming from the backfield as well.
Yeah.
And,
Go ahead.
No, nothing to take away from the Bears again.
They played a good game.
The Commanders turned over the ball 3 times in key moments, and were still almost came on top of that game. Like, they are both some scrappy teams. And to the turnover issue, yes, it was raining, so I do feel like that played a part, because this team offensively turned over the ball 3 times coming into that game, and then turned it over 3 times in one night. So this was a very uncharacteristic type of game for Jayden Daniels, and I don't expect it to be an issue going further, because I know when we typically look at the last game and kind of say, okay, what did they do here? And obviously when you turn over the ball in your first 2 offensive possessions, and then, but to their credit, to be able to still come back, take the lead, and be in the lead the fourth quarter, but then obviously again turn over the ball on 3rd and 1 with 3 minutes left to go. I think that says a lot about what this offense is, and this team is built offensively around Jayden Daniels. They went in and they put in their left tackle. They went and made the big trade for the veteran left tackle, right? They invested their first round pick on their right tackle. So I think if you do expose them a little bit, like Iisha's point on the right side, is because they have that rookie right tackle on the other side. They're still doing a lot of transitions with their right guard, because their starting right guard went out the season-ending injury last year. So the right part of that offensive line, and then if you want to look at the interior part, that's where you're going to have to expose it when you're looking for some weaknesses for our D-line to attack.
I was listening into the break yesterday, and I believe it was either Brian Broaddus or Vach Lombardi, can't remember which one, but one of them had mentioned that maybe thinking about bringing Reddy Stewart close to the line of scrimmage, and maybe do some blitzing there with him, just because they feel as if he's not the best in coverage. Do y'all think that could be something that they could possibly do? Do you like that idea?
I mean, I don't
dislike?
I mean, the only thing about Reddy Stewart, I don't agree that he's hasn't been one of the more efficient corners in coverage. However, I do think that him playing close to the line of scrimmage has shown to be a strength. We've seen early in games, in particular, that Flus is dialing up him, having some blitzes off the edge, and that's one thing that I noticed from Chicago against Washington is that they struggled with picking up some of these blitzes, especially off the edge with some of these nickels and these corners. Chicago's front really just out-physicaled that Washington offensive line. And again, I hope that Dallas has the ability to do that, but the pressure that they were able to get was what really affected Jayden Daniels, and his eyes started looking at the rush at times. And that's not even how he gets down. He's typically very calm, but there were times that he was scrambling. And to your point, Bree, I know that he is still going to scramble, but it doesn't look exactly the same. Like some of the stuff that some of the times that I thought he would have took off typically the other day, he didn't do in the game against the Bears. So I do agree that the Reddy Stewart thing is something that Dallas can do. And it might be more efficient to rush with your safeties and your nickels because your linebackers, when they're blitzing, they're not getting there fast enough. So maybe you use some of these smaller guys to try to get him to the ground as quickly as possible. They can't overrun the tackles, though, because they be doing that. They be excited.
Not they be excited.
They be excited. But, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of maybe moving Reddy Stewart closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, stopping the run, whatever you can do. I think at this point, we're talking about week 7. It's kind of like to the point where we got, unless we pick up the phone and call and, make a deal with someone somewhere else. It's kind of just throwing something at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. And if it don't work and switch it. But to just have the same game plan and see the same mistakes, I think it's going to cause a lot of disconnection. Not talking about we know how the Cowboys fans, majority of them feel right now, but I'm talking about the locker room. You got to try to make it change. And we've heard little tidbits about conversations about man coverage, zone coverage, and what isn't working. And Schottenheimer, we're listening to the guys in the meetings. So those things I think are positive to hear because conversations are still having. I think what I remember most last year when the Cowboys lost and going how many games in a row, I can't even remember they lost in a row. It was not a lot of those conversations happening anymore. So I feel like it's not as struggling time as we're talking about. Look at the NFC East, guys. Like
it's not
the Cowboys are right there. Everybody's doing weird things right now. So let's just find ways to win. That's it.
Yeah, Dallas can't let Zach Ertz and Ben Sinnott just drive them off of the line like they did last week.
Some of the tape is so crazy to watch.
I know, I was hurting.
Oh, gosh.
Really?
That's why y'all was like,
Onions?
You need a hug. Yeah, actually, I needed one yesterday.
Tight ends are moving.
Yeah, because Ben Sinnott, to me, I think he's a fantastic blocking tight end. And when they bring him in line and they do some of those close formation things, he really is able to get up on some of these smaller defensive ends and push guys out the way. So I'm looking for Dallas to be better with dealing with that.
When you look around the NFC East, just want to make sure that people know the Eagles are 4-2, the Commanders are 3-3, the Cowboys not far behind them, 2-3-1. Of course, the Giants are 2-4, but we're not going to talk about that. If you're Kingsbury and you're seeing the weaknesses of the Dallas Cowboys, struggling to get pressure, linebackers kind of all over the place, missing tackles, secondary struggling as well, giving up wide open space to receivers and even running backs. If you're Kingsbury, how would you attack this Matt Eberflus defense the best way?
I'm running the ball.
Yeah,
I'm running the ball, and I'm running right at your linebackers, just what I saw from last week because they proved they can't handle it. So until the film doesn't lie, it's a copycat league. They're going to see what worked, what's been working. And even though we're giving some credit to how they were able to stop the run, if you will, making progress. It was really what other teams were throwing at you. And we kind of like, I feel like little week by week, we see some stuff, we're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
They're still, and then they just got blanked out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to run the ball. That's what their identity is outside of last week. Like I said, it was an uncharacteristic type of game for this offense entirely, but that is what the Commanders are. They are an offense first type of team, and hopefully the defense kind of shows up, because defensively, I know we'll get into that tomorrow, they're having their own type of struggles there, and they are relying, just like the Cowboys are, for Jayden Daniels to go up there and put up 30 points and walk away with the W. And to what I was saying before, he turned over the ball, 2 red zone turnovers, 1 interception that was ugly, and then on 3rd and 1 with 3 minutes to go, and still able to walk away with a 1-point loss. So that's that.
I mean, that's also too the Chicago. Chicago seriously just was giving them drives with penalties. There were numerous times that Chicago could have got off the field on 3rd down, and then they have a roughing the passer or a defensive holding or just something. So in Dallas, has had that issue as well. There's been times where they're just giving teams 3rd downs and 1st downs rather with their penalties. So they have to play smart, because Washington is a team that will take advantage of that. Nicole, you asked what are they going to do? They're already a team that does benefit off of play action. They'll use play action even for the run. Now, without play action, Jayden is still very effective. However, copycat league, like you said, this is something that they do at a pretty regular clip, averaging about 7 yards a play every time they decide to do it.
Sounds familiar.
If I'm them, I play action these linebackers who seem unsure to death, just like other people have. I would definitely too expect to see them get Foskey involved in the screen game. They use Deebo Samuels in the screen game. They I think I've seen them use McCaffrey sometimes in the screen game. Dallas has struggled to defend screens, and Washington has the offensive linemen to get out in space and do some of those things, and the tight ends again, like I mentioned. So expect the screen game, expect some play action. Expect them to still try to attack the medium to deep part of the field, because you've struggled there. I think I would force him, if some way Dallas can funnel him to throw to the deep left side of the field. That is somewhere where he's a little bit weaker. He's just not delivering the ball there. I don't know if it's because he has to plant. I don't know if it has to do with his knee, but he's just hasn't been as efficient delivering the ball there this year. So, I mean, they have. If I'm looking at Dallas's defense, I think I can attack anywhere. So expect for them to try.
Please. You said they are averaging 7 yards per play? That's what you said?
They are on play action.
On
When they go play action, it's 6.9 yards every time they decide to do it.
Dallas defense is giving up over 6 yards per play as well.
Praise Saints.
Yeah. It's going to stress me out. What do you need to see? Actually, I don't want to ask that one just yet. Who's the one Washington player who can quietly swing this matchup?
Quietly?
Mm-hmm.
On the offensive side?
Yes.
Quietly.
I'm going to say...
It's a trick question.
It's a trick question?
The quietly.
She's sick. She's sick. Quietly swing this game. I think You gonna go?
You go ahead, girl. You look like you're on a roll.
I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna go with the gentleman we've been talking about. I think it's gonna be Luke McCaffrey. I think his usage and the way that they feel like they can use him out the backfield as a receiver, some of the stuff that he can do working the flats, I think is really gonna stress. If they find ways, which I expect for them to do, if they find ways to get him lined up on our linebackers who have struggled in coverage, good night. I mean, this is a guy that has yak ability as well, and he's really stepped up with Terry McLaurin's absence, if he is going to be absent. So I would say Luke McCaffrey is a guy that can really break this game open for them if they're able to get him going against the Dallas linebackers.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with him as well.
Barnacle.
So that's why I smiled when you said it.
I cheated.
No, that's it's a good one though. I guess I'll go to the offensive line, just because it's no secret our D line is struggling, and we were praising what the interior could do for the first couple games, and it's just a little bit of a decline because not last week, the week before, it was like Iisha had mentioned it. Like, I think this is one of, not saying it was a terrible game from Kenny Clark, but this was not his best performance. And then it was 2 weeks in a row, and it went even down. And Kenny, from not a film gal,
No, you 100%. Trust what you see. Trust what you see.
But I was seeing a lot of Kenny on the ground, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be a problem. So,
I'm not dealing with you guys.
I mean that it's disheartening because that is supposed to be the bread and butter of the defense and what was sold for us. Like, okay, but the problem is we don't have a dude right now that's going to come in and scare other people. There's nobody, like, to your point, they can attack anywhere because if you're on the other side in scheming against this defense, there's nobody defensively that you're scared of, that you have to game plan around. Like, who's the one person that you're like, if we don't stop him, game over. Like, for real, on the defense. I think that's
that's honestly the problem with the Dallas defense right now is that I was talking to someone yesterday and we were just talking about the fact that when you don't have the immense talent on your defense, when you don't have a million stars, then you have to play sound and you have to play together. There are defenses that don't have a whole bunch of stars on them that are able to still play sound, disciplined football. And if Dallas is able to play sound, disciplined football, they will help this offense out. So for me, I agree with you. There's no one that they have to plan for, but if they just play clean football, then everyone should. Then people will have to plan for you just being sound and not making mistakes and not giving up yardage to guys that will take advantage of it. Now, I agree with you. I do think Donovan Izaraku will have the opportunity in this game to get that sack because he's rook on rook.
So happy for him to just get one. It's
rook on rook with that right tackle, and hopefully we can see one of these guys emerge, and hopefully Dallas is better in first and second down so they can get pass rush situations because we didn't see them much last week. We didn't see them get to rush the passer because, baby, it was a first down every time they decided to pass the ball.
I picked on our D-line when you asked me who's the quiet, but
you showed it.
I could pick a couple of them, but I would say left tackle Laramie Tunsil. His stats have been pretty impressive. He's going to be a problem. He's a veteran piece. They traded big for him for a reason. They invested in him and let some of the other pieces kind of drop off, and they're still figuring some rotations on some things out in the guard position, but they secure that left tackle, and I think that's going to be an issue for.
Yeah, they're running behind him. They're running behind him, and so your linebackers better flow, and your corners better act like they want to
be there.
Yeah, and your defensive ends need to contain.
Yeah,
that's.
All right, we're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Keep diving into this matchup up next.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
how does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days, presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Welcome back! Inner Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Iisha Morrison. And I do want to pose this question because it was actually a really good question that was asked on the break. Shout out to them. Give an area of this team that has a chance to improve, and give an area of this team, defense, Cowboys defense. Let me rephrase that. Give an area on this Cowboys defense that has a chance to improve, and give an area of this Cowboys defense where they are just where they are. Of course, keeping in mind who they have to play on Sunday.
Defensive line can improve if they just play their gaps, play their assignments, not be jumping out of other gaps and going to other gaps and high-fiving the other team.
High-fiving is insane.
If the edges play a little bit more sound and contained, this is like what's happening with the defensive line is basic stuff. Like, just play sound football. Nah, baby. Them linebackers though.
You gotta look at the camera,
Bro.
And
they are where they're just.
They are what they are right now because you got two youngins who need a veteran to. My Lord, y'all, there's times in the game where the Nuggets are telling the veteran where to go on film, pushing them like get out of my gap, dog.
Man,
get out of my gap, dog. So I think the linebackers are what they are right now because you're not getting anything from your veterans. I heard people calling for Jack Sanborn to come back.
That Kenneth Murray film will do that to you. I saw it with my own eyes.
See,
multiple clips.
It's not just me.
Which is crazy because when I talked to Kenneth Murray when he first got here, he told me in that interview.
What did he say?
I want to be the man in the middle. I'm the best when I'm the man controlling everything and communicating everything. That's what I'm sick of you. I'm just telling you what he said. That's what
I'm listening.
We're listening
That's what he
to.
said. So, I mean, that's what
Be confident in yourself.
He said what he was supposed to say.
He did. That's what you're supposed to feel like that. And we didn't get to see him until the season started. And since we synced it, it's been rough. And that's what I'm saying. It's like those youngins are going to...
He's just simply not in the right spots. I think Jack Sanborn is in the right spots. He's just, like, to your point that you've been saying, hitting hard. He's not quick enough to do what they're asking him to do in certain situations. But the film, again... Not a big film girly, but something had me locked in on the film because I'm like, I just want to see what everybody else is seeing. And I saw everybody going this way and Kenneth Murray going this way. And I'm just like, how?
You synced it.
And it was like on multiple plays back to back. So I can get the mental mistakes as like a former athlete and being in the wrong spot and kind of gravitating towards one when your eyes get a little bit too antsy or you see, the quarterback selling the handoff going a different direction. But I'm talking about multiple times. And I think it's a little painful. And that's when you're like, okay, at what point do you get somebody else in there that's not Sanborn and you take a risk on a rookie in there who's gonna make some mistakes, but at least going into the right spots, maybe overrunning the ball every now and then and what have you. But you almost feel like you have a foundation where you're building upon. It kind of just feels like Kenneth Murray's gonna give you what Kenneth Murray is giving you at this point. So to your point of why Sanborn, everybody wanted Sanborn out. Yeah. Now everybody wants Sanborn back, which he probably will be because he was in a concussion protocol.
Because he's at least going to get the guys
where they're supposed to
be. And that's kind of
it's not an easy job.
It's not an easy job. I mean, and again, like being a mic, like you don't have a mic right now.
That's true.
What? You don't have a mic right now. You don't have a true mic right now. The only true mic you have technically is Sanborn, and he's not here. And I don't even know if he's a true mic at this point. So that linebacker room, and it's not giving your Nuggets any time to grow.
You know
the kiddos.
You know who we miss?
I know who I miss.
Eric Kendricks.
Oh, that's
kind of, but he was getting toe up in coverage too.
So somebody tweeted that because he had.
But it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't.
Kendricks had went to Baltimore for a practice tryout, what have you, and somebody I forgot what we played, but it was just bad. And somebody said, "Hey, what's Eric Kendricks doing?"
Bye.
On that note, we're done for the day.
We
are gonna break down.
I'll tell you later.
Cowboys offense.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Exclusive film breakdown from Iisha's Insights. We got a little special thing from Bree as well every Wednesday. But that's a wrap for the show. For Nicole Hutchinson, Brianna Aldridge, Iisha Morrison, we'll see y'all back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Woo!
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?